Jackson.
Some Jackson.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chat of the Gods, our post-session discussion where we talk about what just happened during our session of Alien RPG Chariot of the Gods. This is the chat for session number 4. So if you've not watched that session yet, please go do that because there will be spoilers. And joined by our game mother, Chris, who fucking tried to kill me a million times.
I did, but goddamn, sir. You said it, Sylvan. He got lucky.
Yeah. And Raymond is here as the heroic but also duplicitous pilot. Leah Davis.
What are we talking about?
you and Heather, I swear to goodness.
Everything makes sense to me.
I'm just the naive young one along for the ride. Yeah, the rolls were so first of all, obviously the abomination thing was nuts because that took half the session.
Yes.
So it was cool. It was an epic, just showdown battle that involved like all these characters coming in, and
I think I underestimated like how long it would take you guys in a straight fight. How long it would take you to take him down?
I don't know what its stats were, even what stats look like, but it seemed very strong. Like it had so many dice to roll for armor, and it had a lot of dice it rolled for damage. Like holy crap, this thing could just TPK. I feel like the party.
Yeah.
Which is true of all the creatures in this universe.
Exactly, yeah. It's interesting because it's like we were saying before we started the chat. This combat system could go really quick or it could go really long. Like it really you can't tell. I thought either my thinking going into this is either Rye does something, just gets real lucky with attack rolls or running away or does something and survives and that ends fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Or the abomination just straight up murders her very quickly.
Yeah.
But that was a distinct possibility. But either way, I thought it was like 20 minutes worth of session.
So I noticed you specifically didn't coup de grace me. I don't know if that's even a mechanic that you can do.
Technically it is, but I was sort of just trying to roleplay the rage-filled monster that wanted to kill anyone around it. Like, you were down.
But I feel like it feels weird to argue this point, but there wasn't anybody else around me at the time. Like, that creature could have, like, if it was a horror movie, like, I was alone, it would have panned away, and I think I would have been, like,
just would have kept...
Yeah, I would have just kept killing. That's what I figured was coming. I don't know if you had mercy on me, or if you were just like, this would be more interesting if we leave you alive and bleeding out.
Probably a little bit of both.
Yeah.
To be honest, like, a little bit of mercy, a little bit of, I think it's more interesting if you have the opportunity to bleed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
With the way we rolled last week, I was sure Eric would die. Like even if you didn't finish him off.
I so many failures last time. Yeah.
You guys had in the first two sessions, you guys had way more. Mostly you, Eric.
Yeah.
Panic rolls that were debilitating panic rolls.
Yeah.
You guys this session had a few panic rolls, but they were all okay.
Yeah.
They were all like bad, but you guys.
Even the one that was like, it's gonna fuck up my shot. Like I still got my shot off, which is crazy.
Yeah. So the panic rolls did not hurt you guys as much as they were in the earlier sessions.
True. Yeah.
Well, and the whole night there was only one fail dice, and that was Heather, I think.
Was it? What was the fail? Gosh, is that true? Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I made a mental note, but
yeah,
I feel like
that was the only
failed
fail.
at something. Technically, you failed against the contested roll with manipulation. I'm just scrolling up the chat.
I mean, like a level 1 roll. It was her shotgun. She rolled 2 successes and 1 fail.
I thought she ended up getting that shot. Wasn't that the one where she didn't end up panicking though, or something?
Right.
Okay.
But I'm saying.
She didn't panic. Right.
Oh, but it did trigger the panic. Yeah, when she famously was like, "How do I use the panic system?" And I was like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me."
But that was the only one roll.
Yeah.
Roll of a 1 all night.
It's funny how few rolls there are. I'm scrolling up and I can already get that does not happen in D&D where you scroll up and you're like, I'm only a third of the way through combat.
All right, we're back to the beginning.
Yeah, you're right. We had a ton of successes tonight. That's crazy. I didn't even notice till I was halfway through and then started making the jokes about the successes. I guess I failed at my armor roll, but I don't know if that counts as like I didn't panic for that,
Yeah.
or maybe I
Right.
did. I rolled a panic roll. Oh, that was the. I guess that was part of the attack. I guess. Yeah, it was a lot
Right.
of.
Yeah, you guys are just doing really good. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'd roll successes on death saves, and then you got that amazing shot off, which killed it.
Yes.
So
Which I will say that was a bit of, I won't say mercy, but a little bit of compensation for you guys. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I love you guys going back on the Montero and the whole way that whole played, but you guys forgot that you had weapons on the Montero that you didn't grab. There was an incinerator unit on there. There was something else on there that at the time you were like, oh, we don't need it.
yeah.
But I think when things started getting dangerous, I think you probably just forgot they were there.
Well,
Or-
when things started getting dangerous, the ship was about to blow up. Also, to be fair,
That's also-
and that
that's
was
true.
And
That
the
is true.
captain did
Yeah,
go
yeah,
back
there
there
wasn't
and grab
much
it, and then I was
time.
like,
Yeah, yeah.
"Is there anything we need to grab?" And yeah, so in our defense,
And I will say, you guys haven't done a ton of exploring on the Cronus. You've gotten where you need to go.
yeah,
But there are things that are on this ship that could be helpful, and that's why I went like, you know what? They didn't get the incinerator unit.
Oh, so you put that in the you got let Cham
Well,
get
it's
that?
something that I just had off screen Cham do something that you guys could have done, which is explore some of the storage closets or some other places. And I just gave him the incinerator unit
That was a
that was
smart
on
play.
the Cronus.
Yeah.
You know
I
how
was like, all
scary
right.
it is to try to explore this ship?
Say again?
You know how scary it is to explore this ship?
That
Yeah.
and you've done a good
You
job
know.
of creating this tense like time constraint atmosphere. Like there's a monster running around. Like we gotta get this shit done. Like there's not a time to just go like room to room and explore. At least
Room
from my
to
point of
room.
view.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, for sure.
Especially all the shit that we already witnessed and like the captain dying. Like that just kind of puts everything in like immediate perspective. And it's not like I'm not
Yes.
gonna like I don't know think to do that. I guess
Yeah.
even though that's my character's partial agenda is just to like
Find things to-
find things. Yeah. It's like I need to just survive.
So you guys also, because I got not tired of, but it became too much effort to do whispers. You guys kind of started. I started just talking to Heather just
Yeah.
about what she's doing. like, okay, you guys can hear it. And,
I was talking to her a second ago when we were meeting out there in the kitchen, and she's like, "Yeah, that if you could tell, the whisper thing was to me because I was whispering with Chris constantly. I was like, your whole thing sounds crazy complicated and involved.
she's got her own.
She's
agenda
doing
that
it.
says-
It seems like it's working really well, but man,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
feels like almost being a side GM at that point with the amount of extra
Right.
stuff she's got going on.
It's interesting. It's interesting because that's the way she's playing it. It's
Yeah.
almost like a side GM, like trying to like mastermind things. She didn't have to play it that
That's
way.
true. Yeah.
Like she could have just ingratiated herself with you guys and helped, and like been like part of the team and
Yeah.
tried to like go help do the things. But she's sort of like done this like, no, I'm gonna go like to the mother room and I'm gonna like
Yeah.
shut doors down and I'm gonna do this and that. I love it. It's great. It's just like you have different ways you can interpret that her goal. She's got an end goal.
Next
Yeah.
session, I'll be interested to hear what everybody's like secret agendas were
Yeah.
and how it like falls in line. Like, yeah, how much is Heather deviating versus her following her goal? You know,
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
but we won't know till next time.
No. There's lots of time. And that's the other reason why I'm glad we're not ending it tonight, because like I could maybe have tried to really rush it and finish it by like right now, like 1 a.m. you guys' time. That wouldn't have worked. Even as I'm thinking about it, there's a whole other combat in that you guys
Yeah,
wouldn't have been able
it's
to
just
rush
dangerous
through.
because you, like you said, you don't know if it's going to be
Yeah.
over quickly or if it's going to take a whole
Yeah.
other session. And I was thinking as we were getting kind of along with you, where it was like past midnight, and you even said, okay, you still have the 2 things left to do, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, we haven't actually made
We're
much
not done.
progress in this session along like the main quest chain
Right.
because of that combat, which is still awesome,
Mm-hmm.
but.
It
Mike-
was awesome. I love the way that played out. Just
I do. My concern is that like, gosh, this thing is like as scary and powerful as like a xenomorph. And maybe it's supposed to be, I guess, but
I mean, that's the thing. Like
to me, it takes away a little bit from the cool like alien factor. The thing that we
Yeah,
got
the
this
alien
zombie thing
factor
that's
that-
also
that-
just
yeah.
like absolutely demolishing us.
I mean, have you seen? I mean, none of you guys are like red shirts, but have you seen Prometheus?
I actually have not seen Prometheus.
Oh, okay.
I know it's a big hole
So
in my
the Abomination
knowledge.
is straight up. If you, after this is over, Google, I forget what it's called, like zombie action scene or something from Prometheus. The Abomination is based. This whole character and the way he operates is based off an action sequence in the movie Prometheus.
Okay.
Where one of them, it's a very similar thing, where one of them gets exposed to something, and he gets like turned into just a big hulking
Hulks out.
Hulks out. And there's this action scene where he's just strolling around in this vehicle bay, just like ripping people apart and just like slamming them into walls and just all sorts of shit. And that scene, and that's like midway through the movie. It's like it happens to one of their crew, and it's midway through the movie, and they end up like literally like setting him on fire and then running him over with a vehicle back and forth to actually put him down.
Jeez.
So that was the impetus or the origination of the creature, I think.
We had no such fire. Although thankfully you guys. So I guess I meant to ask you. There was a lot of off-screen combat stuff that happened, which I appreciate that you just had it be off-screen and didn't actually roll.
Yep.
But in your mind, how were you tracking? Like, okay, the synthetics battling the, thing off-screen, or okay, Cham's here with the flamethrower. Like, what's gonna happen? Like, how did you determine and balance that?
Yeah, I kind of just played it by gut. I mean, like I saw what the android's capable of, like damage wise, and she's very strong, just physically strong. But the Abomination is stronger, and the Abomination gets 2 turns in a combat round. Like it literally has a combat speed of 2, so it gets to act twice in the turn order.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, even though the synthetic could probably like withstand it longer than a human, she's not going to win.
I wasn't sure when we I didn't know if that was gonna. Yeah, I didn't know what the result of that would be, or if you would just sit there and be like, okay, they're adding. If I wasn't sure if you wanted us to like get involved in that and just be like, all right, they're locked in battle together, and maybe it's like taking up his turn or something.
Well, that was sort of my decision making moment, was that like, you guys could have, and if you had, Ava probably would have survived. Like if you guys had got like intervened while they were
the doors. I forgot about the door. The doors closed.
The doors shut.
Which that made it actually interesting, because then it really is off screen. Like we really have no idea what's going on, and then you had the cool moment of like the creature emerges. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
But it's like taking some damage. Yeah.
And that was me going, how unsatisfying would it be after this hour and 15-minute long combat for the creature that did all this damage to die off screen?
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
I just didn't like that conceptually. So I was like, all right. Not only I knew that Ava wasn't going to win, but I was like, not only is Ava not going to win, this creature's going to fucking open the door like on its own and have like one last. I literally gave it 1 more HP. I was like, okay, Ava did. So I'll tell you, going into it, Ava's got 6 HP. So that's a lot. It's a lot. It's more than most people. The Abomination has 10. Abomination has 10 hit points.
Holy crap.
6 armor. It is a tanky boy.
Gosh. That's terrifying.
It is not meant to be engaged by one singular person.
Even a group of people would have a problem with that.
I mean, I feel like 3 or 4 people with like firearms could probably take it out relatively easily. But like hand to hand, no way. Like he's just gonna rip through everybody hand to hand. Like you. And
I had no idea. And the nice thing is I didn't have the meta knowledge or anything, so I just like brought my bolt gun. I was like, maybe I can take it out. And it was like, oh shit, that armor roll is like, this is bad.
Yeah. So yeah, I was just kind of rolling with the punches, but
that thing still could have come in and just started killing us if Ray hadn't hit with that pistol shot, like it would have ripped John's. I guess it still could have. So the other thing is, when he ripped off John's arm, were you also going to have him like? Are you actually tracking HP, or are you just like, all right, he's going to take another turn to like actually kill this guy and give them another chance and kind of see how it plays out?
So I'll tell you how the monsters work, and they don't have to work this way, but I started doing it with the Abomination just for fun. All creatures, all enemy monsters,
big and small,
the xenomorphs, have 6 attacks. Now they can repeat, like the Bloodburster, like 1, 2, and 3 are all the same thing, right? But they have 6 things that they can do, 6 attacks. What you're supposed to do is roll secretly to the DM, roll a d6, and what you roll is what the creature does. So like 1 is almost always like
Wait, the
screech.
player rolls?
No, with the monster. Like the monster would have 6 things they could do, right? Like
Oh, we're
number
supposed to
1,
randomly roll?
Yeah, and you're supposed to, as
Oh.
the DM, randomly roll for the monster and be like, all right, this turn I rolled a 1, so he's going to do his terrifying scream. And they get worse. Like 1 is usually like the scream effect, right?
Yeah, it's like
Like
not
they don't
damaging.
actually attack,
Yeah.
but they do a panic roll. And then 6 is always like really bad, like auto death. I think with the
Jesus.
abomination, I'm trying to remember how it's described. I believe with the abomination, number 6 is he crushes your head, like he just squeezes your head.
What? And then just like instantly drops your hit points, or just straight up kills you?
Die. It's just straight death. It's instant death.
Yeah, okay. And it can just randomly do that with any of its
It can-
attacks?
yeah. If you roll a 6,
Jesus.
so as a DM, you don't have to like commit yourself to that. Like you're because you're privately rolling the d6.
Okay.
You could be like, I don't want him to do this one this turn. I'm gonna have him do this other one.
Huh.
But with the abomination, I was doing that. I was rolling the d6s, and that's why like you got thrown. That's what I rolled. I rolled the.
So
number
you were
3.
gonna crush my head in with one of those.
Yes, I was. I absolutely was. Because like I said earlier,
The
like,
glee in his eyes.
I thought the Rye abomination fight could end quickly with just
Yeah.
a very quick death. And if the abomination had rolled the 6 and then he had made the attack and he had hit with the attack, yes, he would have just grabbed your head.
Yeah. And then it would have
crushed
just
it like a
faded
grape.
because nobody's got any vision or anything. So just like you don't know what happened. Like the
Faded to
line
black.
with it.
Yeah, you don't know.
Wow.
Yeah. You would have taken control of probably Cham, and that would have been the end of that.
God.
So he rolled the throw on you, which I had him just throw you into the ladder because that's the only like thing that he could throw you into. Then I had it. Then he rolled 2, which is his just pummel, and that killed you or broke you.
Yeah.
And then with John's, he rolled a 5, and 5 is pull an arm off. That's literally the ability.
Did you have him roll it all against Cham or Ava
No.
or anything? It was just
No,
off
I
screen.
didn't.
Like they're generically injured or something.
Yeah, partially because the him and the synthetic, I was like, I just want this to be like, I was getting like, I was really in my head. I got the T2 hallway fight in my head,
yeah.
where like they're shooting at each other, but when the guns are out, they just walk toward each other and they just grab each other. They're just sort of like throwing each other into walls. And they're just, I was like, all right, this is what I want to have happen here, while they deal with their own things, or they could have jumped in and helped. But that this is what's happening. So I wasn't rolling for either one of them at that point. I was just sort of doing like, all right, his turn, he might do 2 or 3 damage to Ava. Ava's turn, she might do 2 or 3 damage to him until one of them's dead.
Wow.
So, and he had more health and he had armor, and Ava didn't.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I had to make 2 successes on death saves. I remember that.
That was impressive.
Yeah, nothing but successes for a while. And then I'm just going through the list of rolls. Actually, a good way to remember what happened. And then you made Wilson roll manipulation.
That was to lie. Her like she was weaving this whole Heather was
Yeah.
weaving this whole story about how like they were attacked and they didn't know why the door is locked and they're trying to unlock the doors for you.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I gotta have some sort of role here.
Yeah.
That's the weird thing though. I just house ruled it because in the actual core rule book, there's no rules about like not panicking out of combat. And I was just like, okay, this would just be too. It would be too weird for
Yeah, like you freak out because you don't believe.
Freak out in the
Yeah.
middle of a manipulation roll. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, that's true.
So I just kind of went like, okay, just ignore the any ones on stress dice.
Yeah, and you could jump through hoops and be like somebody just that's the moment where they're like, no, fuck you, this is crazy, and just but it does feel like it's less interesting if there's not some tense moment going on.
Right.
Yeah, and then all the medical rolls were successes. All those crazy heavy machinery rolls that who knows what bad things could have happened, but we just fixed everything up like no problem.
You just figured it out. Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, I'll tell you, generally speaking, what could have happened is that you know that there's an alien roaming around the ship. The more time you guys spend just in a room by yourselves, or even buddy system,
Yeah.
the more exposed you are. You know, the shorter amount of time you're anywhere, the safer you're going to be. So but those rolls were great. You guys just generally rolled really well tonight.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was definitely different than last session in terms of how successful we were, and yet that only meant none of our core characters died. Instead, a lot of us were just horribly maimed and injured, and even then, a lot of NPCs ended up dying.
Yep.
I think all the NPCs are dead.
At this point, we don't have confirmation quite yet.
Right.
Technically, he teased at the very end. Yeah.
Yeah. You heard I will say for your recap, you heard out of John's. You heard like he was screaming and then like gurgling cries of pain.
Yeah.
So John's maybe in a word like Clayton. You just heard him like oh God, that kind of thing. But
yeah.
I'm sorry, Clayton. You heard him say that.
Yeah.
With John's, you like literally heard something happening to that man.
Yeah. Like he's
after he lost his arm.
Yeah, the familiar death screams.
Yep. It's chat saying they did not wake up the crew till later, which gives more time for the crew to explore.
That would be interesting. Yeah, I remember you.
Yeah, because that's the whole ship waking up thing. It doesn't
that's
tell
the
you
inciting
when you
incident
have to
that
do it.
starts everything. Yeah.
I wrestle with that too. Like when, because the module doesn't tell you when to wake the ship up. It just says, at some point the ship senses that there are people on it, and it wakes up and activates the cryo lab.
Yeah. And I remember you were worried about the fact that we weren't going to like the med lab or something happened where you were like, I need to wake them up here because we went to the bridge, I guess, first.
The bridge. Yep. Texting or something. It's brutal. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we're doing pretty well.
That's right, Jason. Even if they roll, even if the Xenomorphs roll their 6 attack, they still have to hit on the attack to do the instant kill.
Oh, okay. You needed success, but I'm sure they're running like 1,000 dice, though.
I mean, yeah.
Odds are
between 8 and 10, probably. It's a lot of dice.
Yeah, I was.
But then you roll your armor, and so maybe they don't.
Yeah, our 2 armor things or whatever it is.
Which did not serve you well tonight. The 2 armor never really came into play.
No, it did not. Yeah, only 1 dead PC halfway through Act 3. Yeah, going into this, I didn't think we would be nearly that lucky.
That's true, yeah.
But we're running out of NPCs for Chris to kill off as meat shields between us.
There is only 1 session left, so...
There's no backup characters now, I don't think. Characters. I mean, Cham's still alive, technically, but, like, damn.
He is.
And for once, I'm the least worried character, I think. I think Ray's got the biggest problem right now.
Mm-hmm.
Having the actual... we never confirmed what it is on the... Yeah.
No, not yet.
Okay. For, like, recap purposes, you saw a form or a shape or something?
A form on the whole, yeah.
Quickly walking towards me.
Okay.
Which on the whole of the ship is probably not a good thing.
Yeah, anything that can survive in space is going to be pretty nasty. All right. Anything else about session number 4? It's going to take 5 sessions to do.
It is going to take
granted,
all 5.
The first half of session 1, I think, was just us learning how to play the game
that is true.
collectively. Yeah. So if we didn't need that, we might have gotten it done in 4. But
that's true. Yeah.
And we're still doing our.
Also, the time for the secret agendas too. Like 15, 20
minutes
or so.
Also, yeah.
God, imagine if you had 5 players having to do that. That could.
Get
a little nuts.
Right. Yeah.
Having to just sit there and take turns with that.
Yep.
All right.
It was good though. I appreciate I appreciate the way you guys kind of turned that into like, I mean not turned it, but played it as like this really epic, not the climax, but climactic like action sequence with the abomination fighting it off. And
Yeah, I mean, I like the social stuff that fell off afterwards too, with especially between Heather and Raymond, and then and to an extent you and Heather doing the corporate thing, like all that was.
Yep.
The RP is going very, very well.
Yeah, when Raymond and Heather started getting into it, that is Eric. I remember you talking about the moments where, as a DM, you just sort of go like, "All right, this is my job.
You just sit back and let it
not do anything."
Yep, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it's building towards like a confrontation that will.
It is.
Should be pretty satisfying.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome. All right, cool. I think that will do it for this session of Chat for the Gods. So we will do our final, because we weren't sure last time, but now we're more sure, I think.
We're sure. Yeah,
we'll do our final Alien RPG next week, and then hopefully we can wrap it up at a decent enough time, and we can get all of us together for the chat afterwards.
Chat.
Yeah, and then do a nice big...
Heather's going to have a lot of things to explain in the chat.
I think as long as we're trying, if we can start chat hopefully closer to midnight, and I know that involves like start time and everything, but then I think we can try to pull that off.
Cool.
All right. So thank you as always to Chris, awesome game mother, Raymond. I am Eric, and we will see you next time.
See you next time.
Yeah.